What is up, savages? We are back for yet another video. We've been covering RYO all week, and tonight is not going to be any different. We are going to take a quick look at their wallet that they call Atom. It's RYO Wallet Atom, and we'll be looking at that. And it is a slick, simple wallet. I like the interface. I dig it, so I wanted to check it out. So let's do it. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already and you like content such as this crypto related stuff, I know this week has been RYO, the last week was Bitcash. I don't normally do this, but once I did so many random coin mining shows and I kind of got a feel for projects that have some legs, and I feel like they could do something in the space, in the crypto space, and make some gains, or whatever, however you want to say it, basically, successful type projects. I kind of switched over into, hey, I've got these projects that I'm keeping my eye on, and one of them right now is RYO. I've got my top 10 list that you guys are familiar with probably if you've been watching my channel for a while, but just be sure to subscribe to my channel if you like content like this. And also follow me on Twitter, because over here I post things about the channel, and I also post a bunch of random, crypto related stuff. Most of it is crypto related. So, yeah, follow me over there as well. I think I have almost as many Twitter followers as I do subscribers. So it's almost like 1 for 1. So that's kind of cool. But on Twitter, I'll keep you updated on the channel. So it's kind of important if you want to know what's going on the channel, because I do post about what I'll be covering that night and things like that, and sometimes I'll do a poll for what we want to cover, so just keep all of that in mind. It's important, it's an interaction, so yeah, be sure to follow me over there. Before we get started, let's take a quick look at what I am mining. I am still mining Bitcash on the NVIDIA rig, although it's off right now for sound quality. I hope that my sound is pretty good. I hope it's not too loud. I'm actually pushing some yellow levels here. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. All right, so maybe that might sound a little bit better. But I try to get rid of the background noise as much as I could so that the quality of sound was a little bit better. So hopefully it is. And I'm also mining CCX still on the AMD rig, and this is my personal rig here at the house. And then I've got the shared rigs that are both also mining CCX. We have been mining CCX Conceal.network for many months now, at least non-stop since March, and then off and on before that. So we've done pretty well there with CCX. They're another privacy coin. You guys know how I love privacy coins, so there you go. Now let's look at the market. Specifically, we're going to look at RYO, since that's what we're dealing with this week. And it looks like they are creeping up a little bit. They were down a little bit today. I want to say that they dipped down into the 2-cent range, but maybe not. I think they were down like 5% or something. But anyway, not a big deal. They're at 3 cents now, and they're looking at super low market cap, super low volume. But like they say though, this is like real volume. This is not fake volume. What do they call that? Whenever the exchanges does the volume for you, it's got a name. I forget what it is. Like wash trading, I think, or something like that. So this is real volume. Real people buying or trading RYO. So that's kind of neat. Less than 500,000. We saw what happened with CCX. CCX was down in the $300,000 range, and then they just caught a rocket there and went all the way to well over 3 million in a really short amount of time. And RYO is getting some legs. I see some things being discussed about it. I see it in news and other miners talking about it. So I think that this might be a good one to get a hold of. So not financial advice or mining advice or anything like that. You mine whatever the hell you want to. But this one is very interesting to me. All right. And one of the things that normally sets a privacy coin user experience apart from a non-privacy coin user experience is the wallet. It's real common. Oh, Bitcoin's creeping up a little bit too there. It's real common that the wallet, totally like off track there. It's real common that the wallet for a privacy coin is one of the main features, and it's actually one of the, I'll say it's pretty, right? They're usually slicker, prettier, and simpler, while possibly even being more functional and feature rich depending on the actual network or the actual project itself. It depends on the actual project with what they put into the wallet. And RYO has gone really all out on their desktop wallet that they call Atom, which we're looking at here. I mean, just look at this thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that all the wallet development for this project was done by a core developer called Mosu Forge. You'll see him on the RYO webpage and things like that as a core developer. And he did get some support by RYO RU, or RYO Russian is what the RU stands for. I found that out today. He was like, I didn't realize that my name was so hard to pronounce. But like last night on the stream, I was saying all kinds of weird stuff like RYO or whatever. But so yeah, it's RYO RU on Twitter anyway. It's underscore RYO RU, and that is stands for Russian because he does some translations and things like that for those guys. So pretty cool stuff there. I'm not really interacting with the chat. I don't even, hey, what's up, RYO Currency? I was just talking about you. So yeah, so this is a really cool wallet. Clearly they have a great vision for, well, what I was going to say about RYO RU is that he does support some of the the development of these tools and these features. So alongside of Mosu Forge. All right, so clearly they have a really great vision for a nice user interface. I like this. I like how clean it looks. I'm a big fan of things like that. It's simple, but it's got some really cool features. It's actually so good that Loki, another popular privacy coin, forked it and modified it slightly for their network. So let me show you that real quick. Actually, this is not going to be the right one. I think my shortcut here is pointing to the old wallet. Find out soon enough. All right, wallet, come on. Yeah, it must be pointing to the old one. Let me go over here and figure out the latest one here, because I want to show you that they did fork it, and it's the same. It looks a lot the same, It looks similar anyway. And it's their Electron wallet, I believe is the name of it. Yeah, so it looks like this. So you can see, it looks similar, right? Super cool interface. Not really going to go through Loki wallet, but it is a little bit different because the RYO wallet has, solo pool mining and things like that in it, which Loki doesn't have. But Loki has like service nodes and things like that. So they've modified it somewhat, for their purpose. So just remember that. Cool stuff. So the RYO wallet looks like this, and let me get all this stuff off my screen over here. Hang on just a second. Try to get out of here. This thing, that old Loki wallet never closes successfully for some reason. All right, so if you look at their wallet, you have the little, they call this like a hamburger up here, these three little lines. So you click on that. I know I already have a couple of wallets listed in here, but I'm just going to click on this just to show you the settings and things. So I'm going to click on the hamburger and then go to settings. And then you got three options under general. You got local plus remote daemon. that means that this will kind of get you started quickly. It's the default option, and the wallet will download the full blockchain to your computer, which is about 15 gig right now, I believe, somewhere around in there. And but it will use a remote node while it's syncing. So what I believe that this means is that you could actually use the wallet, pretty functional, send and receive and things like that, while it's downloading the blockchain in the background. Now, this is not the most secure. This is the default. But the most secure way is to use the local daemon only, and that's going to download the full blockchain and only use your wallet to transact, right? Or you only use that copy of the blockchain to transact. So the downfall obviously is it's a huge amount of data, 15 gigabytes plus, or about 15 I think, plus it has to be fully synced before you can transact and things like that. Okay. But this is by far the most secure. So if you're hardcore, crypto guy or crypto person, and you want to be the most secure, then this is the method that you would use, the local daemon only. Then you also have remote daemon, which is just simply talking to a remote host that is feeding you the blockchain information and all that. So you don't have anything that downloads to your local computer, and you're using that remote host for everything. So this is not, in my opinion, this is like by far, actually it's not even my opinion, it is by far the least secure, because you're relying on an external computer to actually do your transactions and provide you with your security. So, by far the most secure is this one. If you want to get up and running fast, you would use local plus remote daemon. Super cool that they included all these options. I kind of think that maybe they should highlight this one a little bit more, like as most secure, or maybe even make this one the default. I see why they wouldn't, because to get people up and running and just to make it simple, this is the default. But maybe even just put a little quote out here or parentheses that says most secure for local daemon, right? So that people kind of understand that is the most secure method. They might say that on here. I don't know. I didn't look too hard at it, so it might say something about security. It doesn't look like it does. All right. So I'm going to choose this one because I think that's what was selected already. Not going to worry about that too much right now, but just keep all that in mind, these three different options. Now, what another really super cool feature of this particular wallet, I love this, is that you're able to easily choose the path of the blockchain data, right? So if you want to change it, all you have to do is select the location and then go out there and change it. Change it to the location, whatever you want. You can see mine's in my normal wallets folder. And here's the path right here currently, but if you wanted to change it, it's just as easy, you could just go in here and actually change the location. You can see right here, this is the actual data file, or the blockchain data folder right here, and you can see it's 15 gig. And I am fully synced with this wallet, so that's probably pretty accurate. And it's all that's in like one file, right? One blockchain data file. So that is that. Let's see, local daemon only. You can select the location for that. Got some advanced options. Don't really want to get too much into that. It's got ports and things like that on here. Typically, unless you're like a superpower user, you're really not going to use this information down here for the most part. Now, I do want to say, let's see, this one, yeah. Okay, so the local and remote and the local also have whether or not you plan on keeping the wallet up and running all the time, like running a node, right? So if you're not going to do that, then I would choose no, private network mode. But if you are going to keep it on all the time, then, if you want to participate in the network, then you would choose yes, interconnected network mode. So that would allow you to basically be a node on the RYO network, which is cool. If you want to really support the project, right? With your computing power. And that works the same for both local plus remote and the local daemon. It has the same two options here. So moving on to preferences. And preferences is where you can choose the light theme or the dark theme. Super cool. You know, that's like a thing now, or it has been for a while, where, you know, every project has to have, whether it's a web page or a wallet, you got to have light and dark mode. You just have to. Even Twitter has that now. So it's one of those things, but I like the dark theme. It also has minimize to tray. So if you were to close it, it would, instead of closing it, I don't know if it asks, because I haven't even tried that, but if you just close it, I think it'll just go minimize to the tray and still be running. Remember that one option about run it 24/7. So that's kind of handy if you're running a node, basically, right? So that's kind of cool. It'll just minimize to the tray. And then you can also launch it at startup, which is another thing. Like if you're running a node, or if you want to participate in the network or as a node on the network, then you can choose that as well. That way it launches whenever you start Windows every time. And then you also have an inactivity timeout, kind of a security feature, like you know, a screensaver or whatever. But basically it will time out and send you back to the main window saying, hey, you know, your session is timed out. Not really a session, but you know, it's timed out due to inactivity. And I have mine set to 30 minutes just because we were doing the demos and stuff, so I didn't want it. I think by default it might be as low as 5 minutes. It might be 10 minutes, I don't know. It's either 5 or 10, it's way down there. So I left it at 30, or I selected 30. And then also it's got notifications, like do you want to be notified if you're trying to send a transaction without a payment ID. And you would want to be warned of that if you were transacting with an exchange, like if you were trying to get the transaction or get your RYO crypto to an exchange. Oftentimes they're going to require a payment ID, and if you don't have that payment ID from the exchange, then you risk losing your crypto, right? So keep that in mind as well. But I would probably say that both of these, you would probably want to keep them on all the time to be notified. The other one is notify when creating or restoring a wallet with an insecure password. So if you've got a real easy to guess password or no password, like you'll see here in a minute, then you know, it'll warn you, like, hey, it'll throw a warning up there. But if you're comfortable with it, then you can turn that one off, and that way you're not being bugged by that message about insecure password. And then also up here you've got peers, and peers are going to show you all the nodes that you're actually connected to at this moment that you're synchronizing with. So if you go back to settings, or actually you hit this little back arrow up here, then down here at the bottom, this is really important to kind of keep an eye on what's going on down here. It tells you your block height and how much of the blockchain you've synced with, or whether or not you're 100%. And it is, you can tell right here that it is 100%. And eventually we'll get to the solo mining. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow night. So this will come into play there. The wallet block height, I think that's what this is. Wallet. Oh, I don't have a wallet open yet, so it's not going to show anything there. So that's why it's 0. But once you see ready over here at the bottom right, LP, thanks for subscribing. Once you see, it kind of scared me there. It was kind of loud. Once you see ready down here in the bottom right hand corner, then that means that you're synced with the network and you can transact and do all the things. You know, one of the things that you have to be synced before you do any mining to this wallet, if in the case of solo mining. But again, we're going to probably cover that tomorrow night, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But just remember that syncing with the network and being 100% down here is ideal. You know, if it gets hung up or something, you have to troubleshoot. You have to do some things, you know, to make it start working. You know, just always remember that you want this to be 100% synced and everything. It took, I want to say it took probably, man, it must have taken maybe 10 hours for my computer to sync to get to 100%, because I left it overnight one night, and then today I left it up and running so that it was synced, so that I could be synced before tonight. So it was quite a while. But anyway, let's move on. Another thing that I really like about this wallet is there's copy buttons everywhere. So like even if you're not in the wallet, like you see these two wallets right here, they're not open. They're just sitting here. It knows that they exist in those folders, in the folder for the wallet, which I can show you that real quick. Give me just a second here. So this is my RYO wallet folder, and if you go into wallets, that's where I keep them. Then I have you know, the files for the wallets right here, and if you match them up, you know, you got mining. So here's the wallet. This is the private key file here, and then the address book right here, which I don't think that there's anything in there actually. Oh, there's one. Okay, so so that's the address book, and I've got 2 wallet files, so you can see I'm mining in YouTube right here, and that's it. So those are my 2 wallets that I have created already, and that is why you're seeing them here. So now, in order to go into the wallet, you know, it's going to show basically what .wallet files. That's a real common thing for you know, a lot of the privacy coins. That's pretty much the file naming structure is .wallet, and I think that maybe my view is not showing me the extension here. Hang on a second. Let me think about this for a second. I think that I can get it to show that. It must be turned off. I didn't know that. I didn't notice that before. Okay, so maybe they're not wallet files. Well, nonetheless, this file right here is your actual wallet file that has transactions and all that stuff in it. All right. Let's close that. So now we're going to go into the YouTube demo wallet. And this is the one that I don't have a password on. I took it off just so that I could be a little bit faster for the stream. So I'm going to click open there. And there's 10 RYO in here if anybody wants them. Probably as I go through this, I'll probably display the private keys maybe for this wallet. I don't know, we'll see. So you might be able to grab that 10 if I don't transfer them out before someone gets them. So that is pretty cool. You know, this is a nice interface. Again, super clean. You know, I really like this interface. It's nice. Let's see, actually I jumped a little bit ahead here. I want to go back to Switch Wallet. Let's close that. So, because I skipped over this. So you can, from this screen, again, these wallets aren't open. You have create new wallet. So you could create a new wallet. We'll create one real quick just to show you what it's like. You have 2 options here. Well, you have seed language, you know, what kind of language you want the seed words to be in. You've got long address, that will create both a public and a private view and spend keys, and it allows the creation of view-only wallets. And the short address creates a shorter style address with only private and spend keys, does not support view-only wallets. And you might be wondering, what is this view-only wallet thing? Well, a view-only wallet usually is used by, it can only see which incoming transactions belong to you. It cannot spend any of your RYO, right? Nor can it see any outgoing transactions. And this makes a view-only wallet really interesting for people like developers writing code to validate those payments, you know, incoming payments, or for end users to validate incoming transactions in the case of like a cold storage, like a ledger or something like that. So you can actually watch the transactions come in. Now I think that there's some issues with balances. I don't know if this wallet actually has that worked out to where you can, I think there's like some way of going out and scanning the blockchain to determine what the actual balance is. But I think by default, it's just going to show you all incoming transactions. That's what the view-only wallet is for. So just keep that in mind. So let's create a long address so that we get everything, and we will just give it no password. We're going to name it RYO Russia. Create. It's going to say, hey, this is that warning that I was talking about earlier. Hey, you're leaving it unencrypted, you know, or using an empty password is leaving it unencrypted, basically. We're going to click continue. Don't do that. Your wallet should be secure, so make sure that you secure it. and then it comes up immediately and says, or I say secure it, make sure that you put a password on it. It comes up and says, okay, here's your seed words, here's your view key, spin key, and then it wants you to confirm the seed words, right? So to make sure that you wrote them down in the right order and things like that. Let's see here. I think that, okay, so it says snake is the first one. So you just get to click them down here, which is kind of nice. So it wants you to write them down. See, now it's like, okay, so I would have to write them down or copy them. Okay. But I'm not going to worry about this. I'll just cancel this wallet because I don't really need it. I have another one already, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to go back here. It did actually create it, I guess. So let's see if it'll open. I'm just going to go over here and delete it because we don't need it. All right. So that now we're back to being like we were before. And what we can do though, so that's how to create a new wallet. We can also restore wallet from seed. And I have a wallet that I created earlier that has, it was donations, I believe was the name of it. So I'm going to call this donations. And this is how you would restore from seed. So, you know, one of the jokes with, I think I saw, I don't know if it was a meme or if it was some tweet or something today. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but it basically was like a picture of someone in a chat, and they were saying, and basically it was like some support person was saying, well, you know, if you have a problem with your wallet, you can just restore from the seed phrase, right? And then the user just replies back and says, seed phrase, question mark, right? So don't be that guy. Don't be that person. Write down your seed phrase. It is ultimately important. That and your private key, all that stuff, you got to keep that stuff safe, man. You got to get it, you know, you got to document it. You got to keep it safe. But the meme or the tweet was about we're still early, right? If people are still asking about what is this seed phrase that you're talking about, whenever I mean, you saw what it did. It made me, it was going to make me write it down. Because as soon as I clicked the first one, it made them disappear, right? It made the seed words disappear. So I had to deselect it to get them to appear again. So it makes you copy it or write them down. So, you know, it kind of forces you to be a little bit more secure. But I mean, people, here's the thing about crypto, and I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but one thing about it is that a lot of people, you know, when it comes to adoption and things like that, there's people out there that don't want to be their own bank. They do not want to take control of their own finances. They do not want to deal with public keys and private keys and seed phrases and all that. They don't want to do it. They want, if they forget their password or if they forget their PIN number or if they forget whatever, they want to call someone. They want to go somewhere. Those people are not who we are trying to convince to use crypto, right? They're not. Those people are, I mean, you might be able to convince them to, but people with that mentality are not who we're going after. You know, I think that this is going to be a younger generation thing, right? That's going to be implemented. I mean, there's also memes and tweets about this too, you know, like, you know, a millennial opening up a bank account, you know, and all this different steps and everything that you have to go through and all that craziness, you know, address and phone number and parents and all this stuff. And then, you know, it says, you know, for crypto or Bitcoin, it says download wallet. That's like your only step, right? Now, obviously, there's a few more, right? We just talked about it, you know, documenting your seed phrase, documenting your private key, all that stuff. But for the most part, if you think about that, I mean, I kind of agree with that. This is like a younger generation's finances, right? Or monetary system. All right, so good grief, man. I'm getting all off on a tangent. All right, so I created a wallet earlier called Donations, and I had exported the seed phrase or the mnemonic seed. So I have that documented, and I deleted it from the wallet, which deleted it from the file system also. All those files that you see in the wallet folder over here, there used to be one called Donations and Donation Address and Donation Keys, and they're gone. So because whenever you delete them from over here, it deletes it from here. And we just kind of saw that, right, with that RYO wallet that we created. So I'm going to, from my documentation, from my safe or whatever, wherever you store your seed phrase and your private data, I'm going to go and retrieve that from that location. And in this case, it's just a text file because I'm just goofing around, but don't do that in real life. So I'm going to, it won't let you right click anywhere in here. So you have to click Control V, and that'll put it in there for you if it's on your clipboard. So Control V puts it in there, and you can see that it went from, if you go back to, let's see here. I thought it was going to go like red or something. I guess it doesn't. That's not what it was it? Was it pirate? I don't remember now. Let me repaste it in here. Okay, so it goes red. So as soon as you type anything, it goes blue. Okay, I was thinking that maybe it was telling me that it was good whenever I pasted it, but that's not the case. All right, so we've got that. Then you can also choose, this is kind of cool because if you know that, like this wallet I created today, right? I don't need to have this go out and check all of the entire 15 gig of blockchain for transactions with this wallet because I just created it today, so there won't be any. So you can actually tell it like, hey, I want to start today, basically, with the scanning part of it for this wallet. So I'm going to go up to August 2019, 15th. I'll go to the 14th just for the heck of it. Set. So now that changes the restore date. And you could also do a block height if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. And then the password was nothing, if I remember right. And then I'm all synced up, everything's good, so I'm going to click restore. It's telling me that using an empty password is bad. Don't do that. Don't do that in real life. I'm just doing this for the demo. All right, so now it imported that wallet from the seed phrase only. That's all I had. I only had the words, the seed words, and that's it. So you see that now I have information. I have the view key, I have the spin key, and if I go back out here to the main window here, then I have another wallet added, right? And that I can go into. I was thinking that this had, I thought I had sent some to this. Maybe I didn't. I thought I had sent some to this address. All right, so that was basically a walkthrough of restoring from the seed phrase only. That's all I had was the seed phrase. That's kind of cool, right? I think that's neat. And then you can also restore the view only. That's another option out here. So if we get back out to Switch Wallet, which I like this feature as well, instead of having to close the wallet, like you've seen in other wallets, you've seen me do it on the stream. I have to close the wallet, I have to go into the files for the wallet, I have to rename the wallet to wallet.dat. Yes, there are other ways of doing it, but I'm just saying in general, that's what you have to do. Like with a QT wallet, you have to say, okay, the wallet.dat file, change that name, then change the other file, the other wallet's name to wallet.dat, and then open the wallet. This one, you don't have to do that. You just go to the hamburger, switch wallet, close it, and then you are back at the main screen that's going to show you the wallets that are in that file, that your file system. And remember, we restored that donations from seed phrase, and now it shows up in here, right? Because it's one of the wallets that we imported from the seed phrase, or restored the wallet from seed. You can also restore the view only wallet, or a view only wallet if you have one. We already talked about the view only stuff. And then you can also import wallet from file. This seemed a little bit quirky whenever I did it earlier. It seemed, I don't know if the files have to be in the same location. I would assume that they have to, and maybe that's what I ran into, because I had files in another location. I think you have to actually put them in this same location with the other wallets, right, in order for it to show up correctly in here and be able to import, I think. Because before I tried this earlier and I had like another folder in here and it gave me some weird indications. So I would do that anyway. I would put all my wallets in the same location. I mean, it just makes sense, especially with this particular interface, because you don't have to rename and all that stuff. You just go back out here to the main window and you're good. So that's cool. Let me check the chat real quick, see how many people are in here. What is up, Shuby? What's up, Board Alchemist? RYO's in here. What's up, guys? Thanks for hanging out and watching this stuff, man. I like this stuff. This is cool. All right, so let's get back to it. Got some little notes over here. All right, so we also have, I'll go into donations. It's just the easiest one to get to. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go to YouTube demo. I want to send. I want to send. I don't think I have anything in the address book. Okay, I do. All right, so that's the donations address. So I'm just going to, this is another really cool feature. Once you have something in your address book, like this right here, this camera's way down, then if you want to send to that address, you just click on the little button over here that says send coins, and then it just fills everything out for you. So there's no like copying and pasting and all that nonsense. It's just right there. Super cool. All right, so I'm gonna try to send 5. I think there's 10 in here total. So let's send that. It tells you right here, like I was saying earlier, no payment ID was provided. So if you are sending it to an exchange, you might lose your funds. So don't do that. I'm not sending it to an exchange. I'm just sending it to another address in this same wallet or on the same computer. So it says successfully sent. I think I tried this before. Okay, yeah, I never got that before. So I think maybe I was doing it while it was probably still syncing maybe. I don't know. I don't remember, but nonetheless, it looks like it went, or it's going to go this time. So I'm going to go back to Switch Wallet, go back to donations, open. Okay, so it's showing that, it's showing up in here as pending. That's great. So in a few minutes, it'll be good, or it should in a few minutes. All right. But you also have wallet actions in here. You've got show your private keys. Now this is donations. You already saw the private keys for that. So if you guys want to steal this 5 RYO before I ship it out of here, then go for it. You also have change password, rescan. Like let's say that you are missing transactions, like something's not right, it doesn't look right. You can do a rescan. Manage key images. Those are for key images. They basically prevent double spends on, and they're part of every ring signature transaction on the network. There can only be one key image for each output, and that's what this is referring to. And then that information is actually stored on the blockchain so that miners can validate and make sure that there aren't double spends on the network. Probably won't have to deal with that too much on a normal day-to-day basis. I don't think that it's, but you can export and import the key images. That's what that feature is right there. Another cool thing, well, we already did the sending and receiving, but another cool thing that this wallet does is if you do size it, then close it, it'll remember the size that you closed it from, right? So it's like a kind of a normal Windows feature, but some wallets don't have it. Some wallets will start up, they have like a default setting for what size they start up to. So let's see, I think someone's talking to me. Oh, okay, yeah, Shubi, I know, right? I'll do. I've got wallets. I've got ETC, so I'll do that. Maybe I'll put that in the description, just for you. All right. Yeah, thanks for that. So it does remember the size. We did sending and we did sending. It also has the address book, which we kind of saw. So let's do. I'm going to send. We'll just send from here. I'm going to send it over to the YouTube demo address. I have this stuff copied just so that I have it handy. So I'm going to send to. Now I don't have. Let's see what's in here. See, since it's still pending, this is not going to work, right? Because I'm going to try to send funds that I don't have yet. So I doubt that this is going to work. Control V there. And then I'm going to save it. And this is going to be, what wallet am I in? I'm in donation. So I'm sending to YouTube demo wallet. You can name it whatever you want. This is just the address book entry. And then send. Yeah, see, so not enough in unlocked balance. So I have to wait on this to be confirmed and all that stuff before I can actually send it, which is a perfect representation of why crypto is so cool. Because that was the problem that earlier versions of crypto, like in the 90s, that's the problem that they had, was that double spend thing and the double spend problem. And that is what Satoshi Nakamoto discovered with the proof of work and all that stuff, or developed with the proof of work to not allow that to happen. So that is super cool. That's like real live representation of the basics of crypto and why it is what it is. So that's pretty neat. So I'm just waiting on this to confirm and go from pending to available. And once that happens, we will switch back over there and send it back and forth. I want to go through a send. I want to add to the address book, and then we'll look at transaction history, and then we will get out of here because it's 10:11 already. So it'll just be a few more minutes probably. I think this went pretty fast. I probably should have jacked up the transaction, you know, like whenever you go send, like I should have probably went like a high fee or something on it so that it would be a little bit faster. But that's okay. So okay. Yeah, I don't want to wait 30 or 40 minutes. All right, so let's do this. What if I hit it? What if I send with times 20? Is that going to get it in like a couple of minutes? I know it's 4-minute block times, but will that get it here pretty quick? Or should I just not worry about waiting on it? I guess it's not really that important. You guys saw sending, and actually, you know what I can do? Let me just go into a different wallet. That's what I'll do. So I'll go over here to the YouTube demo wallet. I believe that this one has an address book entry. It does. So you see earlier I sent to, now I'm in transaction history here. So you can see right here that I sent earlier today or yesterday, I sent 10 RYO to the donation address, right? 5C5, I believe that's right. So if I go to the address book, okay, that's not the address, that's the transaction ID. Okay, yeah, because I was like, that's not the right address. But this is another representation of privacy coins, because that is not showing you the address that it was sent to, right? That's just the transaction ID. Now, if you click on it because it's in your wallet, you have the actual address and stuff. All right, so if we go to address book though, so whenever I sent that payment, or I sent that crypto, the RYO, from this wallet to the donations address wallet, or the donation wallet address, then I selected to add to address book right here, and I gave it a name, and I don't think I put any notes in there, but I gave it a name, and then I clicked send, and whenever I did that, it actually added it to the address book. So here's the entry right here for donations. So now if I want to send to that address again from the YouTube demo wallet, I could just click on this little guy over here, and it fills it out for me. If I want to get super secure, top secret, I can go 100 ring members. We talked about ring signatures and stuff like that last night. So if you want to check out that video, a little bit of my interpretation of what it is in that video. Probably not entirely accurate, but you know, it gets a little bit in the weeds whenever you get into ring signatures and ring CT and all that stuff. But I think I want to say that I put maybe a ×4 on the transaction on the priority whenever I sent that one earlier or yesterday or whenever it was. So just kind of goofing around with the numbers and stuff. But that's how you get an entry into your address book. Now I believe, honestly, I think, let's try something. I believe that you can also modify I'm going to put, see, this is YouTube, right? I'm going to see if I can add an address manually to the address book. So if we go to the file itself, so this is YouTube demo address book. There's one entry in here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. So save that. So all I did was I added the mining address to the actual file. This is the address file. And I want to see if I go, I might have to go back and forth here. See if I exit out of here. So I'm going to switch wallet. Go back to YouTube demo. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to see if this works. It doesn't. All right. So all right. Yeah, you have to click. You can click add down there though. I didn't see that before. So there's a little plus down here. So if you click that, and then you can add the address in here. Control V. You can call it mining. That other way, this way right here, or the manual way, might work if I close the wallet maybe, and then open the wallet back up, or you know, close Atom, not the actual wallet itself. Maybe, I don't know. Not a big deal. I was just kind of wanting to play around with that to see if it worked. So, good grief, I think we covered everything. I believe that's it. Let me check the chat, see if RYO is yelling at me. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm kind of curious though. I want to see. Let's see here. I'm gonna close this. Oh, you know what? You know what I didn't do? I didn't save this. I just pasted it. I didn't save it. So now I want to save it, and now we'll go back in there and see if it is listed in there. I know this is kind of goofy. This is like you would never really do it like that unless you had like a whole list of addresses that you wanted to add all at once. It might be kind of interesting to do it that way, but for the most part, you know, you can just add them one at a time. But if you had a bunch, I guess it would make sense to do it that way. All right, so it does not like the fact that I modified that file, because see how it's got the little question mark on here now? And it doesn't list it either. Yeah, I'm thinking that it didn't like that at all. Unless that's just something else. But see how it's got the little question mark here now? So I bet that because I modified this file, I think that it threw it for a loop and was like, wait a minute. Cryptographically, that does not work. That does not compute. Let me close this again and reopen it. Wait, what ETC address are you using? Because oh wow, y'all see that, right? That's kind of cool that it does that. So it knew. Hang on just a second, Shuby. Don't send anything. So it knew that I modified this file with another address, and whenever I did that, it changed the cryptographic signature of this wallet because it didn't have the correct logo over here, or whatever this thing is called. What is that called? Help me out, RYO. It's got a name. It's not a QR code or anything like that, but it's I just don't remember what the name is. Anyway, so it changed it to a question mark, probably because it knew that I had changed this file for the address book, and it didn't recognize it. So that's kind of neat. It's kind of neat that it did that. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to save that. Identicon, awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say Avatar. That's what I was gonna say. But Identicon, I think that is definitely the name of it. All right. So, all right, cool. This is neat. This is neat stuff. That was cool that I modified that file and it knew it. It was like, yep, this is using some information that I haven't seen before. That's kind of neat. This one looks like Mario. It kind of does, doesn't it? That's funny. Identicon. Got to remember that. Trying to log it. All right. So tomorrow, let's talk about what we'll go over tomorrow a little bit here. Tomorrow we'll probably clean up like any of the information that we missed. Like I'll go over some things maybe on their website. I'll make some notes and cover some things that I thought might be important, that I think might be important, that we kind of glossed over. There's some things like they have an online store. There's some other features in their website that I wanted to get to. So we'll take a look at that, anything that we missed. Plus, I think what we'll do, I think we'll be able to do solo mining tomorrow also, although I might actually split it up between two different streams. So I might do a solo mining stream first, and that one might be a little bit earlier, and then do a RYO week cleanup stream that covers all that other stuff that we missed afterwards. I think maybe that'll be the order that I'll go, but I want it to be two different streams because I don't want it to be too long for one, and I don't want it to be too unorganized, right? I don't want to just start talking about a bunch of different things and then also cover solo mining, because I think solo mining is important and it needs to have its own stream. So that is probably what we are looking at doing tomorrow. So that is going to be neat. I have not set it up. I don't know that much about it. I might just wing it tomorrow and go through it like a first-time user to see if we can get it up and running. So that'll be kind of neat. Let me check the chat. That'll be tomorrow. If I do 2 streams, it'll probably, let's see, how can we do this? Actually, I'll probably do the solo mining stream at 9:30, and then if I need to do a cleanup after the fact, it'll be after the solo mining stream. So that's the way we'll do it. So it might be late. It might be a later stream. I'm just checking the chat here real quick before I get out of here. All right, cool. All right, so I am going to get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow night, same time, 9:30. We'll be here, or I'll be here. Shuby will probably be here too. He's pretty consistent. So lately anyway. So that's going to wrap it up. I will see y'all tomorrow night. Stay savage, everybody.